Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. Now today I'd like to go all the way back to Norway and take a look at their Norwegian Arctic Field Ration. Now this particular one is the pulled pork. So let's get this on a table and see what this pack contains. And so, as you can see, I now have here on the table this Norwegian Arctic Field Ration. This particular one is the menu 21 and it's that pulled pork. This particular one has just expired, so should still be okay. Best before 05/04/23, so that's April 23, so just a month or so past its best, but still be perfectly good. This one's starting to delaminate. I don't know if you can see, which is very unusual. I've not had a delaminating one of these before, so I hope the contents are still good. As always, there is a little square pack with a little tear notch in the corner, so we shall give this a pull, and it has delaminated, totally delaminated. Never seen that before. Bringing my little friend just to give it a little helping hand there. So, what does this Arctic Field Ration pulled pork actually contain? So straight off the bat, as the name suggests, there is the dehydrated pulled pork meal made by Real. So pulled pork. We have a fruit soup, so a fruit soup drink. There is a caramel energy bar. All of these seem to be made by the Real company. There is a packet of spicy sauce. We have some beef jerky, so pepper, beef jerky, pepper flavoured. We also have a Cranberry Protein Bar. There is a Poldermill Colombian freeze-dried instant coffee. We also have a energy drink with the taste of lemon. With that squeeze on the end there, move things around a little bit, keep them all in shot. I've just dropped something into my bin. There was some spearmint gum, a disinfecting wipe with a 70% ethanol or alcohol content, so a very good cleaning wipe, plastic spoon, reasonably strong but not the best out there, and finally a little Ziploc bag to keep any leftovers or take away the trash or rubbish. So, impressive set of contents. So this is the contents of the Arctic Field Ration Norwegian pulled pork menu. So let's get these out on a tray and see what they look and taste like. And so, as you can see, I now have here, laid out on the tray, this pulled pork Norwegian Field Ration. And normally I like to start on the drinks, but because this takes a little bit of preparation, being freeze-dried, I'm going to start with the pulled pork. It says add 70 to 100 centigrade of water, wait 8 minutes, and enjoy. There is a fill line on the side there, letting you know how much to fill, and I've noticed there is 2 notches, one to mix and one to tear off to eat at a different level. Obviously eating, you don't need it so deep. So we're going to tear at the mix level. Nice foil wrapping, easy to open, sealed as well, a nice hiss on opening. Let's get that open, separated. Okay, so nice chunky meal there. I'm going to need to open this spoon. Just bring in my friend. I say, I've had these snap a couple of times when I've been digging deep into the bottom of the pouch, so hopefully this one's going to be okay. And we'll just fill this up to the fill line, or about the fill line. It's usually just over the main meal. You can always add more water, you can't take away, so it's always a little bit better to be cautious with these things. And we'll just get that right into the corners. So this is pulled pork with rice. Let's get that a good mix in. A familiar smell. I don't think I've had this menu before, but the smell certainly smells familiar, like one of the other Norwegian rations I've had. It is a nice smell. Let's get that well mixed in. Okay, so we'll just seal that now. We'll come back in a couple of minutes, see if it needs any more water, and we'll just leave that to do its thing while we get on and make the other things. I'm going to look at this Colombian coffee from Polder Mill. Now, I've had these before. I'm not a great fan of this particular variety. There is no sugar, so it is black, unsweetened. That also is not my favourite way of taking coffee. But you can tell a good coffee from a bad coffee, even if it's not the way you normally take it. So, medium looking roast, large granules. I've dirtied the spoon, so I'm going to have to bring in, you know, the US MRE, and we'll make about half a mug of coffee, as always, to give it its best chance of flavour. I do like to be fair, give everything its best chance. That way, if I do think it's a bad coffee, I genuinely think it's a bad coffee. But Polder Mill I've had before. Now I've got something a little bit different. We have some fruit soup. Now this is a little fruit drink. Just add water. So again, hot water I think is best for this. Quite lumpy, so we'll just get that in there. There's some lumps within there, but I'm sure that will dissolve. I'm going to give this again some hot water, about, I think it is 200 millilitres or thereabouts, which would be about half a mug of hot water. So let's get that half a mug of hot water there. I'm also next going to have a look at this energy drink with a taste of lemon. Again, gives you an indication of how much to fill. I've done these before. Again, a lot of these I've done before. It's the main meal I've not really had. This is the first time I've had that particular main meal. These are often sticky, and I've learned from experience they do actually work best mixing them in the pouch and then pouring it into the glass. It tends to be lumpy, clumpy, very sticky, it's going everywhere. An unusual sort of powder consistency, but if you don't know if you can see, it's lumpy, it's sticky. So from experience I found it is best to mix these in the pouch as suggested. The only problem I've got, it's not gusseted, so it's best to guess. Put that water there for a moment, and we'll just give that a seal. Again, you can always add more, you can't take away. Make sure that's sealed. Fold it over a couple of times and just give that a bit of a shake. Bit of a shake and a mix. That's a good old mix, dripping it everywhere. As I know I would. And that will now pour nicely into the glass there. Okay, now keeping on moving around, I've made a bit of a mess. but we're going to have a look at this caramel energy bar made by Real. Nice sticky energy rich caramel bar. Just put it in the corner there so I don't get confused which one is which. We also have a Cranberry Protein Bar, 28% protein, again made by Real company. So similar looking but a little less sticky, a little bit coarser. I forgot which one that was actually called, so I'm just going to pull that back to remind me. That's the caramel bar. And that's the cranberry. Have a look at the beef jerky. A very sticky looking beef jerky. We do have hot sauce and a wet nap for when needed. Let's just have another look at this pulled pork. I do think that needs a touch more water. Let's give that a little touch. Obviously these things can be made to how you like them, but there's nothing worse than overfilling them and having a soup instead of a meal. So while that's just finishing off and doing its thing, I think we'll have a look at some of the drinks, just give that a couple more minutes. So, coffee, black, dark looking, no whitener, no sugar. As I've had before, I find these uninspiring. It's not bitter, it's very mild, not the strongest coffee. Whitener and sugar would certainly help. It is a basic, middle of the road, instant coffee. The sort of coffee most people would appreciate. It's just not the best quality, not the most expensive on the shelf there, but it is a recognisable, still drinkable, basic coffee. Now I'm just going to give this fruit soup another little stir. So this is a fruit soup. So it looks like it's got croutons in there, but actually I think they're pieces of fruit. Pieces of fruit, quite sour, quite tart. With that there is a background sweetness. It tastes like a very thin pureed fruit. There is fruit chunks in there, dehydrated fruit which are rehydrating. It's different, it's tasty, fruity. Imagine a watered down fruit puree, and that's pretty much what it is, and hot as well. I'm going to have a look at the lemon drink. Not over coloured, not over fluorescent in colour. It's a nice lemon drink, quite strong. I do actually need a little bit more water in that. About 3/4. That was quite strong, quite tart. A little bit more water. And give that another try. Another try there. Much better. Tasty, enjoyable, sweet, artificial lemon flavour. There's no real lemons in there, but nice tasting energy drink. I think we should now hopefully be able to scoop out the main meal. So I'm going to bring in a bowl. As I say, it does give you the option to tear off the lower notch and eat from the pouch. I'm going to just pour it into a bowl for demonstration because I can and because I have one here. Very thick, very stodgy looking meal. As I said, you could add more water, but that looks like a filling meal. Large bowl full. So I think I'm going to, now it's out, I'm going to start there. So this is the pulled pork with rice. Very thick, very stodgy. As I said, you could add more water. Let's have a little mix there. You can't take any individual item. It's thick, it's stodgy. There is a slight barbecue flavour in the background. It's reconstituted nicely. It's quite sweet. It is a sweet barbecue. Sweet, filling, nice reconstitution. Chewy, the meat has not got any texture left. Like pulled pork, very soft. You don't need good dental hygiene. It just falls apart in your mouth. Nicely seasoned, nicely peppered, slightly sweet. If you don't like sweet meals, you might find it a little bit oversweet. But filling, tasty, enjoyable. No heat there at all. So I'm just going to try a little bit of this spicy sauce. Now I've learnt from past experience also with these, sometimes they're very spicy, sometimes they're not. So little and often is the way. There's a little bit there. You'll see it's quite thick spicy sauce. Mix that in with the spicy sauce little and often till you get the consistency you like. That is quite fiery. Quite fiery. There is a good chili kick there. That's still maturing. I could probably go just a little bit more. I would say that's about a quarter of the packet. For me, that would be enough. It gives it a kick. It gives you that chili heat, but it's not overpowering that you no longer enjoy. Some people will add more, obviously some people want none. That's now nice combination between sweet and fiery without being too much overkill on the fire. Nice, tasty. The addition of the spicy sauce helps take away some of the sweetness. I am getting sticky, so I'm going to have a look at the wet nap. Said before, 70% ethanol, so I suppose in an emergency would also be great to help lighting fires. As we all know, ethanol, alcohol, very combustible. Typical paper towelette. I've actually seen these for medical use. I think they are a medical disinfectant wipe. Very wet. Very, can you see it's glistening? There's a lot of moisture on there, a lot of alcohol, strong alcohol smell. Good sterilising, anti-bac, and alcohol rich. It dissolves, evaporates, leaves your hands nice, dry, clean. So good. Wet nap. I think I'm going to just refresh my palate with some other coffee. I'll take a look now at this beef jerky. So it looks like a typical beef jerky strip. It says just peppered, not too rubbery. Sometimes jerky can be quite like on the rubber, eating a piece of rubber. Quite firm, tasty, chewy, slightly smoky, almost teriyaki flavour, but it says just pepper. It is typical jerky, beef jerky, slightly glistening, coated with some sort of sauce. Not overly difficult to eat. I would say a slight sort of Japanese teriyaki flavouring, but very nice, simplistic beef stick. We'll move on to, let's refresh my palate again. Take a look at this caramel energy bar. So it's very sticky, contains raisins. It's very soft, very soft. very sticky, sweet, chewy, tasty. You can taste the sweetness. There's a lot of energy in there, a lot of sugar. It's got fruit in there, but you can't really taste the fruit. You can just taste the caramel. Sweet, chewy, tasty, energy rich, nice, enjoyable. Bit of sweetness for after lunch. Very chewy. Now we'll take a look at the Cranberry Bar. Very similar, but more crisp. Larger pieces, larger crispies. Very similar, but more crispy bits. Very nice, enjoyable. We cannot taste the cranberries, it's just sweet, tasty. Again, a very good, rich energy rush. Very nice, tasty piece of meat there. Cranberry energy bar. Don't know which one to go for to refresh my palate. I'll go back to the lemon again. Nice and refreshing, nice palate cleanser, the lemon there. And finally, we're down to the spearmint gum. There is 2 little briquettes. Again, you should just have one. Nice off centre. A lot of mint oils. Good flavour. Both pieces in your mouth after you finish the meal, which I will have. I'm going to finish this as my lunch. As I say on my reviews, I don't waste these. I do make them as part of my lunch to avoid waste. After lunch, very good, very tasty mouth cleanser, cleansing away any of those tastes from the main meal. So overall, very enjoyable, very filling Norwegian Arctic Field Ration. This particular one being the menu pulled pork. So I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe and hit that notification button for future videos coming very soon. So thank you and goodbye.